End of day two, I would say I'm pretty happy with where we're at. And it's always hard to try to remember all the way back to the beginning of the day and where we actually sat. But when you look back, we got a lot of stuff done. We started with some frame rocks by the waterfall, one spill stone, did all of this over here, all of that over there, the rocks around the pumps, the wing walls up past that, trenched the plumbing all the way up to the tops. You can see John's down here doing some lighting, getting all that figured in. Even some plants here and there. Bib liners are in, things have been foamed. We have 2 more waterfalls to go tomorrow, and then we're gonna fire this baby up. It's gonna be awesome.
We were just digging this area out, prepping for the last 2 waterfalls. So this one is really low and sunk down in here. This is a really steep bank, so there's a lot of vertical height going on here. So we were just prepping this to kind of as the foundation for the next 2 falls. Still kind of dreaming out what's going to happen in here, but basically we know that 2 more falls, the source is going to be up there at the top, and where we're talking about kind of getting the split falls come in here, like come around this side, have that be a frame rock, and come around this side and kind of be converging into one point down through here. But yeah, I'm kind of watching and learning. This is different rock than we work with in Pennsylvania. There's no top, no bottom, no seam. So it's kind of a fun process to see this come together, and I know it's going to look good. It's just that this is where I get brain cramps. You get a big round rock, how do you make it look good?
Yeah, what Weston's talking about is definitely rings true for me too. These round rocks, they definitely present a different challenge. Like at home, and you guys have seen on the channel before, we work with a lot of flat top stuff where we can do a lot of cool layering. We're kind of doing the same thing here with these round rocks, but they don't fit together quite the same. So there's a lot of like really pushing rock in front of rock to kind of hide that curve. Ed, what do you think is the biggest challenge with this rock here?
Biggest challenge with the rock, again, some of them are really flat, others are really bouldery, rounded and all that stuff. So you're mixing in different shapes and sizes. So to make it look that random look, you're gonna put a big rock and then you might put another lower one in front to kind of hide joints and stuff like that. So you don't have nice vertical lines. The nice thing about it is you can flip them, turn them in any direction and still do that. So it gives you a lot of options, which is good in one hand and actually bad in the other. So what we want to try to do, we're talking about maybe doing a split of some sort in here just to kind of break some of the monotony up. So I'll do a big boulder here in the middle, small fall on one side, low one on the other, so maybe a high and a low or a low and a high, whatever it happens to be, kind of playing around with those different things just to create that different sound as well as sights from different angles and things like that. That will also give us a lot of opportunities from a lighting standpoint to really make some of those things pop out. So the things that we have to think about are going to be that top elevation. So we're going to try to drop in some of these bigger boulders, but we will have to adjust this elevation once we set these boulders. So we do this all the time. We over excavate, put the rocks in where the rocks look good, and then we adjust the surrounding grades accordingly to make everything kind of match up. So it's just a constant process of going back and forth, which is actually why we work with, we might have concrete cloth there, but we don't use concrete all the time, because if you were to pour a concrete shell in here, you can't manipulate it. You're coming in with concrete saws, you're cutting rebar and getting all that stuff, so it limits your flexibility. Something like this, we have these big rubber sheets. We can move them, we could twist them, we can over dig things, we could push all that stuff around to conform it, which really creates that naturalistic appearance.
Once again, Ed is quite the wordsmith. For the end of day 2, we're all really impressed with the amount of work we got done, especially with the difficult conditions here. Tomorrow, Laura and Stephen will be out here for the reveal. We're all super excited to see what they think about this. It's going to be awesome. We'll see you tomorrow. Today's D-Day, and it is chilly here in California. We're up at what is going to be the very top of the waterfall. Right up in here is where we're going to be bringing our pipes in that are fed from the pumps. We'll be using 2 diffusers to start the waterfall. There'll be rockwork built up slightly higher than this shelf, and then a pooling area up here. From there, we've got about a 3.5 foot elevation. We got to make up with some boulders, so it's just going to look like a big boulder outcropping here with water starting out below it in kind of a pooling area and then feeding into this waterfall, which is going to be splitting around that rock right there, creating a really cool effect to start things out. What's important is from those windows on the house, you're going to see mainly from here up to the top, because in reality line of sight is kind of blocked by the bushes and the deck rail. You don't get to really appreciate the entire waterfall until you start to come towards the edge of the stairs.
What we're working on right now is we're backfilling behind the boulders with riverstone. So you have 2 options. You could either over dig everything, place the rocks where they look good, so more artistry, and then you have to backfill behind it. The first option is to take the rubber liner, all the fabric, pull it over this way and pack soil in behind it. Works very well. It eliminates a lot of void spaces, so you don't have to foam as much. So that is good from that standpoint. But what it does, it limits your creativity. So by putting in river rock in here, it gives us a lot of structural rigidity. It's going to lock everything into place. But now we can raise or lower the gravel easily to accept more boulders behind it. So this, for larger projects, is definitely the way to go, especially big boulders, big hillsides like this where we're looking for structural integrity. This is going to lock everything in place. It's going to be a rock solid wall. Nothing is going to move this thing.
So while we get a crew up there finishing up the top, there'll be guys washing this down, hooking up the lighting, getting our landscaping in. We're gonna be putting plants around this whole thing so that when Laura and Stephen walk out the door, they're gonna see a completely finished product, and we hope it's gonna blow them away. We are so close. There is just an army of people here installing all the landscape plants, buttoning up edges on the waterfall. Ed up top there, he's just doing a little bit of outcropping with what very little boulders we have left. This is just about ready to fire up. And it's a good thing because Laura and Stephen will be home just momentarily. They're gonna walk in the backyard, we're gonna get the reaction, see what they think about their brand new, beautiful waterfall.
I know you are. You're gonna peek.
I'm looking down.
I know you.
I'm looking at my own boobs. I'm not looking up. I will not look up.
Okay.
Oh my
I'm
goodness.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm excited.
Hold on. Let's see when we can hear it.
Oh my goodness.
Wait, what? It sounds amazing. What?
Yeah, don't look yet. We're gonna go down this. We're gonna go to the slide.
Oh my god.
1, 2, 3.
Oh my gosh!
Oh my God. Yes! That's the reaction we want! That is incredible. Wow, thank
Well, you are now living the aquascape lifestyle.
I mean,
and and it's an honor for us to work with people that are going to enjoy it. You know, and the fact that you have such a broad influence and you can help so many people with your, you know, your story and how you do things. I think this is perfect because we want more people to live the aquascape lifestyle. This is my 31st year doing this.
Wow.
And this has been my passion. And you know, Ed's been with me 29 years. Brian's been with me 27. And this is all of our passions.
Yeah. What a
It's very
team.
clear. Very clear
yeah.
that this is.
It's really special, isn't it? It's a really special thing.
What a perfect reaction. The way they feel about this water feature and how it's going to enhance their space. Just seeing Alfie immediately go into this beach area and start interacting with it already, that's exactly what they were hoping for. Let's start down the bottom. This is where our 1,000 gallon reservoir is. Over on the far side, underneath where the giraffe is, that's where our pump vault is located. We've got two SLD 5,000 to 9,000 pumps. Right now they're running full steam. It's putting out somewhere between 15 and 16,000 gallons per hour. So we've got a good, really good flow going down this waterfall. I talked about Alfie immediately going inside here. That's kind of why we designed this beach entrance into this section of the reservoir. The kids can walk right inside here along with Laura and Stephen and kind of get right up into this little pooling area, splash around, get into the waterfall, really interact with this entire system. Tons of plantings have incorporated right along the edge, and as the time goes on, that stuff's gonna fill in here really, really nicely, giving it a nice lush look, blurring that line from aquatic into terrestrial and hiding a lot of these boulders, which is essentially what you want to do to give the water feature a natural looking feel. And flanking the side here, doing a grouping of these evergreens, that's going to help set that off once that stuff starts to grow in. 3 days to build this water feature, but we had an enormously talented team doing it. This is not the norm. Coming into a backyard, starting with a steep grade, blank canvas, and turning into this in just 3 short days, that's nothing short of amazing. What's the cost on something like this? To build a waterfall in a location like this with this elevation about 10 feet high, going back about 30 to 40 feet, you're talking about $150,000 if I was doing it in New Jersey. If I had to travel to do a project like this, you can probably add 30% more with all the travel costs. Expensive water feature, yes. Awesome, yes, I think so. Thanks for hanging with us on these 2 special episodes. Getting a chance to do something for someone as high profile as Laura and Stephen was really a cool, fun experience, but the best part for me, as always, is doing it with my friends. Ed, Brian, Tim, John, all those guys coming together, having fun, a little bit of ribbon along the way, but putting in the work to turn this out in just 3 days. I couldn't have asked for a better time. Hit that subscribe button. Come on back every Friday, 4 p.m. We're doing this thing. See you on the next one.